This week on Legends, we have Mr. Dupr'e Kelly, Lords of the Underground, co-founder and executive director of 211 Community Impact on Legends with Russell Thomas. Do it all himself, doing it all. Joke was outside of, let's see, New Hope Village, shoveling the whole parking lot by hand. Right. I let him take a break. I got agents going to buy him a Sonic milkshake or whatever it is with some ice, and he'll be good to go.
Right. Ice in the winter.
Ice in the winter, man. That shows you stole cold. That's all it is.
That's that January baby.
Woo! Oh, God bless your heart, my brother. God bless your heart.
Try not to make it all, you know how when you're drinking and it's at the bottom, you make the slurp sound. Pause.
So, pause. Let me tell you something. You could tell he gangster with it because he's not drinking corn liquor with Red Bull mixed in the cup. That's what I would have had with no ice.
I didn't know it was that type of party tonight. Man. I might throw some of this the sanitizer in here and something, see if that alcohol work.
Oh my goodness. Oh no, we gonna keep it light, bro.
Yeah, we gonna keep it light, man.
And it's gonna be positivity.
Always that way.
Absolutely. And I got a couple messages. We'll talk online about that.
Okay.
This was interesting. When you was at what was it? 118 East South Street in Raleigh.
I know one of my addresses.
Yeah. Well, listen, the internet, you find a lot of stuff. We won't get into all of this stuff, but when you was at that location, what's the name of the school?
Shaw University, man.
Oh, my goodness.
Raleigh, North Carolina, the Triangle area.
North Carolina. I bet you didn't know that if you made a right on Wilmington, a right on Heritage Park, a right on Blunt Street, and a right on Rock Quarry Road.
Rock Quarry
Road.
You know a little bit about Raleigh,
I'm about to tell you in a minute. And then you made a left on the Sandiford Road. Actually, a right on the Sandiford Road, there was a park.
Ooh, Sanford, real.
Sandiford Road, there was a park. Now,
that park, we called the Raleigh Killers was in that park.
Yes.
It's the Raleigh Killer Park, we called it.
Oh, you about to tell my family now. We can't have that. But listen. Wait a minute, it gets better. If you happen to be on Sandiford Road and you're driving, you're going to see a crosswalk painted in the street from the entrance of the park to a specific house.
Right.
That house was my family's house.
Wow.
Crosswalk right there.
They put the crosswalk on the house.
Right. So do I have to tell you what they was doing in the house?
Oh my God.
Something with the cup.
Oh Lord. It was that moonshine.
Yes.
That's the house where the moonshine was at.
That's right.
That's why the crosswalk, all roads lead to that house.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Especially for college students.
Listen. Everybody in the area, the mailman, Lightner, the funeral director. So, I don't want to blow up my people's spot too much, but at one time...
They're not still there, though, are they?
Yes.
They still there? Yes. They still got the great moonshine?
Not that house. They actually moved a couple blocks over, but...
Oh, they had to move the business a little bit, huh?
Dude, my family at one time was 10% of the crime in Raleigh.
Oh wow. What's your family last name?
Thomas.
The Thomases, huh?
And we'll get to that because
Okay.
I'm gonna show you how that intertwine a little later on. I don't want to blow everybody's spot out. But so I do know a little something about Raleigh.
That's
little
peace.
something.
That's peace.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody in Raleigh, North Carolina. I know we in the big city right now. We're in Newark, New Jersey, but if you listening, via stream or via the internet, YouTube or what have you, Instagram, whatever it is, man. Shout out to Raleigh, North Carolina, man, for real.
Absolutely. So let's just jump into this real quick.
Right.
As I put the on the air mic live on.
Right.
What was the instant that you realized you transitioned from Dupr'e to Do It All?
The transition from Dupr'e to Do It All, they kind of interchange. You know what I mean? Like, I've always been Dupr'e Kelly, and that's more my personal, real life, my real persona. It's not until I got in high school where I was named. I got named by a brother by the name of Kenya Reed. He gave all of us nicknames. I got the name Do It All, because I was involved in everything. I was on the basketball team. I was on the baseball team. I was in the computer club.
Okay.
I was in the Future Business Leaders of America. That's crazy now that I think about it.
Makes
right?
sense.
Now makes sense now, right?
Yes.
And I was in all of that. And one day I was running down the halls, and it was almost after school, and almost the end of the day, and I ran to my locker. I dropped something, picked it up, and my man KR, we called him Kenya Reed. He was my guy, so I ran past him without giving him a pound, and he was like, "Yo, you ain't gonna give me no pound? Like, where are we like that now?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm late for baseball practice." And he's like, "Baseball practice?" It's like, "Man, then you just come out of here, and then you just come out of there." And they already called me Dupr'e. Do short for Dupr'e. So he was just like, he was like, "Man, you do it all, man." It's like, you do everything in this school. You battle and all. So the next day, I was battling in the hallway. Shout out to my man Ali with the big hands at Newark Tech back then, because he used to bang the beatbox on the wall. And I was tearing a frame out of somebody battling in the hallway by the lunchroom. And then out here coming down the steps, talk about, "Oh, get him, do it all, do. Look at do it all, do. Get him, do it all." And I was like, "Yo, stop calling me that, man." And then next thing you know, the whole school just started calling me Do It All, Do. And it went from Do It All, Do to just Do It All. And, I just kept the moniker. But you got to be careful of the names you keep and you choose. Because, it's like speaking things into existence. And right now, like, my days have been starting at like 6:30 a.m., but I haven't been going to sleep until like probably 2:30. You know what I mean? So it's just been crazy. It's a crazy time, but it's a good time.
It's worth it.
And you got to do the work. If you want the great things out of it, you got to do the work. So I feel like I'm just doing a lot of work right now, man.
You're doing it all. So,
yeah.
Well, listen, you stole some of my thunder. So now I got to come up with something new.
Hey, bring that cloud back around then.
Well, listen, hold on. Let me tell you something. I was going to ask you when you was at 359 13th Avenue.
Oh man, you got the address.
Did you go
you
back
got
to
receipts.
I got receipts, bro. Did you go into the class and say, "Yes, I was doing it all back then in 13th Avenue School"?
Man, I was called something else at 359 13th Avenue. They call me Do Love.
Oh my goodness!
Don't tell anybody that though.
Oh my! You mean they really called you Mr. Goodnight?
Yeah, they call me Do Love, man. Like I said, everybody always called me Do. Like if you knew me from my block from 19th Street, I'm from the West Ward of Newark, New Jersey. I'm still in the West Ward of Newark, New Jersey. I got a couple of properties, but I'm still in the West Ward. That's where I say I live at. So when I was in 13th Avenue, man, it was just, if you knew me, if you was a family member, they called me Pray. A lot of people don't know that. So I guess I'm giving you a couple of things people don't know.
Wow, little tidbits.
Yeah, little tidbits. So my family, that's how I knew who knew me and who didn't know me. So if you knew me and you was like close to a family member, they called me Pray. And if you really like my aunties and all of them, they called me Pray. And then when I started maneuvering through the streets of Newark, people started calling me Do. which is short for Dupr'e. Not Dupree. I know a lot of people out there call me Dupree. It's just one E with an accent. It's French.
It's Cajun.
It's
Cajun. Don't let them tell you nothing else.
It's Popeye Turkey Cajun. Nah. But and they started calling me Du. So everybody in Newark that was kind of associated with me or friends, they called me Du. When I went to high school, they called me Du. Until that one day in the hallway with my man Kenya Reed, KR, started calling me Do It All, Du. Because I was on everything and involved with everything. So, and it just stuck, man, and it became my hip hop name. So I thank KR to this day.
Does he get points?
He doesn't get points. He doesn't get points, but because I made the name what it is.
Okay.
He just gave it to me.
He should get a credit or something.
He definitely gets credit.
Okay.
He's getting credit right now on the Russell Thomas Legend Show.
Yeah, this is right. And Russell Thomas wants a check, and I'm like KR wants to get a check.
Yeah, man.
You said you did it all. What did you play in baseball?
I played every position.
Oh my goodness.
I did it all. Now I played. I was a pitcher. I was a catcher. I played the outfield. I played second base. And third base sometimes.
The hot corner.
Yeah, the corner.
Okay.
Okay. So those are my positions, but mainly second base, outfield, and catcher.
Mm-hmm.
A little skinny dude playing catcher.
Yeah, well, that's how you get all the equipment.
Yeah, I had all of the equipment.
I know a little something about that. And you went to Newark Tech.
Yeah, Newark Tech, man. Shout out to everybody at Newark Tech, man. And it's real nice now. We didn't have a gymnasium when I was there. I might be telling my age saying that.
No.
But shout out to everybody, those Terriers, man. I'm gonna bleed that purple and white for life.
So we're gonna end this right now because I went to Bloomfield Tech. I was
Spartan. In that quick. Newark Tech and Bloomfield Tech. We had a lot of a lot of battles, man. A lot of great games.
And we was Votech champions a couple years running, but I won't get into that.
Yeah, we were too, though. Back to back.
I'm a little older than you. Just
okay,
a little bit.
Yeah. So we took it after you left.
And now we're actually all in the same building.
That's right.
Isn't that a lovely thing?
Yeah.
And that building was where I was born at X amount of years ago because that was Presbyterian Hospital.
And it's now named after the great Donald Payne.
Yes, sir.
Senior. Shout out to Donald Payne Jr. too, man. Those are my guys, man. Great family over there, man. It's our congressman. Excuse me, let me be respectful. Congressman Donald Payne Jr., So shout out to him, man.
Yeah, shout out Choppy. I got you.
Choppy.
Yeah, we're going to start some mess up in here. They might shut us down. But we're going to get into that other stuff a little bit later. Because I try to keep a schedule. And I know you on schedule. We was just talking previous, or I don't know if you know, Wally Moses.
Wally Moses. Shout out Wally.
Wally. I talked to him today. And we'll talk to something offline. But
Word.
So there was talk of maybe having some entrance music for the champ to walk into, created here at the Hub with Mr. Dupr'e.
Yeah.
And Mr. Hub putting something together and representing Newark.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's possible or not because, a lot of things are possible.
Hey.
But I was talking to Mr. Moses today. How you feel about that, bro?
Hey, man, let me just say this, man. When you talk about Mr. Hub and talk about the Hub, I don't never say this, but people don't realize, man, that Reek is my cousin.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Mr. Hub is my cousin.
Oh, my goodness.
We always I keep a lot of family members and people I'm related to in the bricks. I keep it kind of separate a lot of times because, we got a lot of silos in Newark, New Jersey. So sometimes when they want to take something out on you because of me or vice versa. So, but that's family, man. And when they doing good, like what the Hub is doing and everything the Hub is doing. I mean, the Hub should be getting all federal dollars when it comes to city, state, anything that has anything to do with community and our people, our young youth. The Hub is it, man. This is the Hub.
The center of everything.
It's the center of everything, man. From radio stations to television recording to recording content to audio recording to just being here for the youth, man. It's a very important centerpiece, and whatever they need me to do, I'm always gonna make myself available.
Oh, Mr. Hub would like that.
Yeah,
I would like that as your new manager.
Let's go,
211
man.
Community Impact.
Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody over there.
Community Policing Solutions agent over here smiling because I have to give a pitch all the time and do what I got to do.
Right.
So I'm going to tell you how messed up I am right now. I'm starstruck because I heard a story that the Lords of the Underground was at Sensations and they had Redman as their DJ for one show. I don't know where to go with that.
Yeah, that's not all the way true.
Okay.
Shout out to Redman. I just got off the phone with him, man, and oh man, I don't even know if I can say this right now. I just say my condolences to the family.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But that's my brother from another mother. Shout out to him. Shout out to Miss Noble. Shout out to Rosalind. Shout out to the whole Noble family. I love y'all. Word up. My condolences. But nah, it didn't really happen like that. So,
okay.
You know, I'm from the West Ward of Newark. I'm still from the West Ward of Newark.
Hooterville?
A little bit up. I'm from,
okay.
I'm not from the Ville, but I'm from a couple of blocks up. I'm in between the graveyards. You know what I mean? They call it the West Side. I'm from the West Side, man. You know what I mean?
He's from Tombstone Hill.
Yeah,
That's
man.
his name.
I'm from the West Side, man, and Redman is as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from, Tretch is from 18th, but he's from the Illtown side. I'm from 19th, and Redman is from 20th Street, and we right in between the graveyards. So we grew up together, and Redman was my DJ. He's been DJing since he was 10, 12 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I met him around when we was about 11 or 12, and he was my DJ. I was rapping on a mic, and he was cutting and scratching, and was dope at it. We called him Cut Killer, and our dream was to get on and become an artist. So just long story short, we used to look on the back of the album covers and the single covers and the cassette tape covers, and we would find out where the management offices were, where the record labels were. And even to fast forward a little more, we found out this is when Def Jam was down off of Broadway back in the Village. And
was it Profile?
Not Profile Records. This was Rush Label Management.
Okay, all right.
Rush Management.
Rush Management.
And we used to go up in there, and we used to always sit there. And long story short, again,
take your time.
They gave us tickets to go to the EPMD's Gold Party. And
chill?
Strictly Business.
Okay.
They gave us tickets to go to but they only gave me 2 tickets.
Mm-hmm.
But I had 4 people with me. I had
your 3.
Shout out to the Waves from Prince Street.
Uh-huh.
I had my man Jam C. I had my man Breeder Bega. Of course, I had my DJ Cut Killer, who we now know as Redman, and I had myself. So 2 wasn't enough. So I came home. Mr. Magic and Marley Marl was on the radio show. Now listen to these names. Now Mr. Magic and Marley Marl was on the radio show. Now Marley Marl signed my group years later. I had no idea that would happen. But I called the radio station because they were given a chance to win tickets to the EPMD show. I already had 2. So I called and I won. I won 2 more tickets. So I won 2 tickets, and Rush Management gave me 2 tickets. We went to the EPMD show. That's the first night I met Salt and Pepper. First night I met a whole bunch of people. We met Eric, and Breeder Bega and JMC was telling them about an MC that they had that they should check out, because we stick together like that. Right. So even though that they were rappers, they were talking about me, putting me out first, because I was the one who had videos. My mother was spending money on videos. I was the one moving.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, back then. And shout out to Redia. Shout out to Redia Not Productions in Harlem, because they did the videos back then. And we got the tickets. We told Eric, he was like, "Yo, I got a show at the Down Sensations. I got a show at Down Sensations. I'm coming down Newark. Y'all need to come." So me and Redman going to Sensations. I get into a car accident. Redman was actually in the car. We get into a car accident.
He got out.
We both. I had to take the car back home.
Right. Okay.
He continued. It was my mother's car, so I had to stay. I wasn't going nowhere after a car accident. So he went. Him and Bree went. They met Eric, and Eric was like, "Where's the rapper dude?" And he was like, "Oh, he couldn't make it." And Redman was like, "But I'm representing for him." And Bree was like, "Yo, but he raps too," talking about Red. And they tried to get Red to say a rhyme. Red didn't want to say a rhyme at first, and then he finally said a rhyme. And he was like, "Redman ready to rock rough rhymes, the renegade rapper, rip when it's rhyme time, punk, push a pen and pencil." He said that rhyme. So Eric was like, then he said, I sting like the rock group or something. Eric was like, "Come on stage." And the rest is history, man. And I can't front. Red actually still came back, got me, and was like, we was going to Eric's Erman house to Central Islip like every weekend. Wow. Dressing alike, because it's EPMD. They used to dress alike. So we dressing alike, going to Long Island, Central Islip, man, and so Redman was my DJ. He was never Lords of the Underground's DJ.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, you learn something new every day.
Yeah, man.
Listen, that's you went back to my era when you talked about Mr. Magic.
Yeah.
I used to listen to them cats.
Rest
They
in
got me
peace to
through the
Mr.
service.
Magic, man.
Yeah,
Word.
yeah.
Word.
Red. Wow. Listen, you got so much history to be such a young man.
Yeah, man, it's definitely a blessing.
It's a big
Definitely,
blessing.
man. Had a great time. Still having a great time off of what hip hop has become, you know, and it's beautiful what we're able to turn it into.
But we've always been able to bring something to the culture, and it gets amplified first by us, and then somebody else sort of sidetracks it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's a blessing. We're gonna keep it positive.
Yeah, they monopolize it, you know, and turn it into something.
Whatever. So now as your new manager, or no, you know, I want to be fair. It's three of y'all. It's still three of y'all. So now we're a foursome. Agent's over smiling because I have to pitch everybody. I want to tell you about a young man coming up. I don't know if they call him Young High or whatever.
Young High?
Yeah, Hashim.
Okay.
He's your wait a minute. He's your frat.
Oh yeah, 1906.
Okay.
Shout out to my frat brothers, man. Them great men of distinction, them Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated brothers. I see you got that great Timberland gold jacket on with the black in it, that black and old gold. Nice choice for the day, man.
Okay, you listen. It was totally unintentional. You brought that in, and Hashim's going to see it.
Word. Shout out to Haas, man.
Listen, he's Seton Hall Law, second year.
I think I spoke to him.
Yeah, I know.
He told me he was going to law school, man.
Yes.
Yeah, we chop it up every here and now, man.
Last year he worked in the U.S. Attorney's office.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, I know.
Yeah, keep it going. I might have something for you, frat.
Yeah. He's talking about music entertainment. So okay, but enough about him. Back to Dude, because Dude was doing a lot. He was getting it done. I seen him shoveling Elizabeth Avenue, and I caught up to him. It was a little miscommunication, but Do It All. When I say Do It All, he's doing it all.
Man.
Just so you know, I have a CDL.
Okay.
I can operate a bucket loader.
Hey.
Just work for the city of Newark.
That's a great thing. That bucket loader should be on somebody's bucket list.
That's what I'm talking about. You could hire me for a nominal fee. I will charge you a minute because we're going to become business partners.
Hey, why not?
That's what I'm talking about.
Why not?
That's what I'm talking about. So, tell me about when you and your crew got together at Shaw from different areas, right?
Right.
Somebody was from Cleveland?
Yeah, shout out to DJ Lord Jazz, man, from Cleveland, Ohio. OH10, man, C-Town. You know, he's from the Heights out there, Cleveland Heights. And Lord Jazz is he's the founder of Lords of the Underground because he put Lords of the Underground together. His friend at the time, one of his best friends by the name of Derek L.A. Jackson, who went on to find the Roots, who managed Coolio, who really got famous from managing Scott Storch, made Scott Storch really famous. He found us too, Lords of the Underground. He was Marley Marl's cousin, and he was DJ Lord Jazz' best friend. Lord Jazz was the DJ at all of the parties, and you know, I used to get on the mic and rock sometimes and tear the party down. And Funk was from Newark too. He went to Shaw University on the same program that I went on. So I don't know about Funk's situation, but I got in trouble and just messing around in the streets, joyriding. And
things happen
like that. And a councilman by the name of Ralph T. Grant Sr. At the time, you know, he pulled me into this program and was like, you know, you're a good kid. I'm not going to let you fall by the wayside. I'm going to set it up for you to go to my school. You know, that's why I went to college, man, because I felt like Ralph T. Grant looked out for a young youth male out of Newark, New Jersey. That's why I pledged Alpha Phi Alpha, because he was an alpha. So he became sort of a role model. He's probably even one of the reasons why I ran for councilman.
We're going to get to that.
You know what I mean? In the city of Newark, because I learned politics in the beginning from him. And my management, who was his chief of staff, by the brother named of Hafiz Fareed. So, you know, it's just like everything plays in a cycle, man. You know, I just believe the way that you learn something is the way that you teach it, you know?
Absolutely. And that family is another legendary family.
Yeah.
His wife was a doctor.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She was
Gwendolyn Goldsby Grant, doctor. Excuse me. Let me be respect. Let me show a little respect, Dr. Gwendolyn Goldsby Grant, and rest in peace to her as well.
Absolutely.
Man. Yeah.
And the son, who when I came out of the service, thought he could play softball better than me, so we all played in the co-ed league.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that Ralph Grant Jr.
Yes.
Yeah, he's in California now.
Is he?
Yeah, he's been in Cali for a while.
Is his hair still curly, or did he lose it all?
Nah, he still got a little bit going on. I think he need to get rid of that hairline.
That Jerry curl done played out about 30 years ago.
Yeah. I think it might have been natural.
Yo, so he say he was not. Now pray.
Hey, so he say
he wasn't from Louisiana.
Yeah, so he say. But shout out to Ralph Grant, man, Junior, man. We call him Mr. Psycho. Yeah,
I got stories about him. He went to Puerto Rico too. But we're not
talking
about that right now.
Yeah. Ralph is crazy, so I probably believe it, and I ain't heard it.
Listen, and then most of the time, and what's interesting is the people that I end up having on the show. I have them send me I had a doctor send me a CV, which is basically a certification of all these things, and I had Nasib Gifted.
Oh, nice.
He had a press packet.
Oh, he had a.
I'm like, dude, really, really? I can't even get a secretary of it. You got a press packet.
He had electronic.
Dude. You gotta see the book. Dude, but wait a minute. So we give you your props now.
The book is over there.
This is the book real quick. That's the book.
Oh, wow.
I didn't even realize that.
PB Soldier. I seen this book from somewhere too.
Probably from watching Legends, but we won't get into that right now.
The Awakening Saga.
Oh, he got like 60 something episodes already written.
Yeah, Nasib is gifted. No pun intended.
Oh, plenty of pun gifted, because that's a check.
It's dope too.
That's several checks.
It's dope.
But anyway, so as I was started to talk about, so I asked Pray, let me get the bio. He was like, man, just pull it off of Google. I'm like, now I gotta Google the Joker. I Googled. Listen, I went out. I found it. I pressed print. I went out and shoveled my driveway. I came back in. It was still print. I ran out of paper. Ran out of ink. Then I go to Staples. I get some more paper, some more ink. I put it in. It's still plain. I did my daughter's car, the oldest one. Then I came back and it finally finished. And I said, you know what? Listen, he gonna be in here. I'm not going through all of this right now. We just gonna keep it light. And it had to be. It was a lot of pages.
Hey man, you know what too? I just want to apologize to everybody out there that's been really showing me love. Like, I want y'all to know that I don't take it for granted when you ask me for an interview, when you ask me to book me for anything, because that's respect, and that's something that you should do, because people are reaching out, that they want to interview you because of what you do. So you can't never front on the interviewee, interviewer, excuse me. Don't front on the interviewer. But I have my assistant has not been working with me for a year. She got another job. We're still cool, and she does things for me, but not on a day-to-day basis like she used to do. Mm-hmm. And it's been crazy. I didn't realize how much she meant to, and especially when you've been with somebody for so long that works with you. I mean, she got my credit card numbers and all of that I can just say, go,
handle your business, handle my business.
Yeah, handle my business. And I don't know who to trust now by giving my credit card numbers to, or giving my house keys to, and say, do this, or this is where the extra keys is to this, and here's the passcodes to this. It's hard to trust somebody in this game like that. So I've been trying to do it with my sister, my mother, me, and it's been crazy. Like, if you would have called for a year ago and asked for asked for the bio, Mercedes would have automatically hit here
and send it out.
So it's when you lose something, you realize how important it was to you, and it's about building that trust. So I'm in that process again of trying to find an assistant that I can build that trust with, and it doesn't come overnight. So I apologize to everybody out there who's been booking me or asking me for interviews, and I've been getting back to them slowly.
Listen, I looked up when I caught up to him. It was a message, and I'm horrible with messages. I don't have Messenger on my phone,
right?
So I get on the iPad and I send a message. Oh, I gotta holler at him, and then I forget. You know, that's that AARP status right now. But it's okay. Dude came through. Like I said, he was shoveling Elizabeth Avenue tonight. He came through. My man bought him a Sonic, whatever
Hey,
he got.
man, I had to, I'm a slushy guy, man. So, I come from the era on 19th Street where moms used to take the spoon and take the ice out the top of the freezer. So I like any type of slush like that. That's kind of my weakness. So even if it's, I'm a January baby, so I don't like the snow, but I like to eat the slush.
Well, first of all, let me say happy belated.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
You look good to be 21.
Hey, man, 21 double over.
There you go. There you go.
Wow.
So this gentleman, so we know that he had a interesting, a very lucrative, and I'm not getting in your pockets right now, rap career. So somewhere in between the time of me going back in the house and putting ink in the printer, I noticed a line on his bio that this gentleman is an actor. So as the last dude I said had A-Rab money, this cat's collecting soprano money.
Hey, man, residual money is great.
Wait a minute though. The last scene of the last episode of The Sopranos.
Yeah, that was a good ticket for one show.
Woo!
Yeah.
And now I know you with a couple of independent films.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You did something with Tretch. I have a lot of names for Tretch. And when he comes on, I'll tell him.
Trigger, Tiny, OBZ.
Knocking people out in Oval Park.
Yeah.
Dude. That's
the young Tretch.
Yes.
I just spoke to Tretch yesterday, man, and shout out to Trigger, man. That's my brother right there.
Oh, he's all right. Now let me tell you something that you're not going to remember, but I'm going to remember.
Okay.
So in my previous job that I had 346 days ago, I was backstage at 24 Hours of Peace, which was in front of King's Restaurant.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So I'm there, and to be honest with you, I've always had a good rapport with a lot of people. You know, sometimes people catch you on the bad day and things happen.
That's facts.
But this day, I had actually already known Tretch from Latifah because I go back to her DJ was on Ditmas AD. And then when they had the Naughty by Nature thing at Symphony Hall, where they brought out the Naughty Hey Ho and all of that,
right?
It's good. So I'm backstage and dude showing love, and it's kind of hard, if you from North and you see a gentleman in uniform in blue, like, well, he's an officer, but he ain't really giving me no problem, so all right, give me that. All right, it's cool. And I think at the time my youngest daughter was there, and you took a picture with her. And then you got Tretch to take a picture, and Tretch like, I took a picture with baby girl. We're going to take another one. So she actually remembered that. And then when she went to the school she's at now, Rutgers, she was like, yo, my pops introduced me to all of them. I said, no, I didn't. You introduced. They was nice enough to be with you. So now we had Lords. I know Prey was there. I know Tretch was there. I don't know what Vinny and any other people was at. But here's the funny thing. 24 Hours of Peace in front of King's Restaurant. Whoever just got off the stage, the seats were facing, that would be west, going up Clinton Avenue. It was like maybe 30 rows. On the other side of the seats, somebody got knocked out because they was fussing over somebody getting their sneakers stepped on or some nonsense. And people looked at me and said, "Officer, you gonna go over there?" I'm like, "No, I'm backstage right now."
That's right.
I got the backstage. They got that. And Joker's like, "Yo, that's what's up. Keep the party rolling. He'll be all right. Dust it off, Joker." This is before Fridays. You got knocked the F out.
Yeah.
No, actually, it was after that.
Yeah, because that's
yes,
that's after. Yep.
In front of Kings, y'all rocked it. 25 Hours a Piece was good, but some of my cousins act up every once in a while.
Oh Lord, every once in a while.
Every once in a while it happens.
Facts.
So as far as the acting,
right?
We got any more acting coming up?
Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody on my live on Instagram. I got the live going. I see my man Kenny Gifford, who runs our film and television here.
Kenny owe me some money from North Star days.
Uh-oh.
He owe me some money from North Star.
Run, Kenny, run!
No, that's okay. That's okay.
But shout out to Kenny Gifford because we have a couple of films and things that we have in the work that we're working on right now. Something good that's going to include the entire city, man. And I have a film called Fighting to Be Dad that I've been... COVID has slowed me down so much, but then we've had on the table for so long, man, and it's a custody battle. You know, I don't know if you ever saw Kramer versus Kramer.
Oh yeah, that was like in the '80s with Dustin Hoffman and Meryl Streep. I think.
It won an Oscar.
So they say.
So so they say. But no, it won an Oscar,
Yes.
and now was it worth it? I don't know. But it did win an Oscar. But that was a white family talking about their custody battle. I don't think anybody has really gotten into the depths of custody battles when it comes to our kind, black people, black and brown people. And not just because the narrative for custody battles here with black and brown people always favors the mom.
Mm-hmm.
It never really talks about it when it's a great dad. And there's some situations out there like that.
There are a lot of them.
Yeah, a lot of them. And then, he's always made to look like the bad guy. So it's called Fighting to Be Dad, man. And, I can't wait to really get that. It's a true story, too, so I can't wait to really get that off, man.
I have another story about that, but I'll say
All right. We might have to put you on camera with that one.
Listen. I'm trying to get my SAG card, too.
Okay.
Because I know you got that.
Okay, yes,
so,
sir.
you reach out to me or
and
whatever.
that AFTRA.
Yeah, and after, one thing at a time, man. I just want to have the craft services.
All right.
Get a little bit something, say a couple of lines and bounce.
Mm-hmm.
I think I talked last week about having the Omar role, but I can't do everything Omar did in The Wire. Fantastic character, but I can't do everything. Shout out to Mike.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Mike, man. I was just with Mike about maybe about a month ago.
Okay.
At breakfast, man. Here in Newark, it's a good guy, man.
Okay.
Shout out to Mike.
See, now you can call him. You can be. Please don't do me like Mr. Sultan does. You know what I'm talking about. Green room. Ken, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you. Oh man, where you at, dude? You never told me you was at the party or wherever you was at.
Yeah.
Oh man, I hit you back later. That's it. Don't do me like that.
Nah.
Okay.
You got the main line, man.
Okay,
So,
I got the main line. That's what's up. That's truly what's up. So, a few years ago,
right.
You decided, after, I guess, under the tutelage of Ralph Grant and many other people, you decided to take a leap out on faith. Was there something else that prompted you?
To run for office?
To run for office.
Yeah, man. Our community, our city. A lot of things were just a precursor to get me ready. Like I said, you have I never knew my biological father, right? So like a lot of us, growing up in the city of Newark, New Jersey, I'm just a young black male who had to be raised by a single black woman. So you have a woman trying to teach a young male how to be a man, which I believe is impossible. She can teach him great things, but she can't show him how to be a man. Like vice versa, a man can't show a little girl how to become a woman. He can just show her what a dad and a man is from his perspective, and vice versa with the woman. All she can do is show that young male what a woman is from her perspective. So as a young man, I gravitated toward men who had that energy of positivity, or had that energy of hustling or moving forward, or something like that.
Positively.
Yes, positively. Forward motion. A movement ain't a movement unless it's moving forward, because you can be moving backwards, and that's the wrong movement. So anyway, so I gravitated to that guy on my block who was the dope rapper, and he dressed fresh. I gravitated to the guy who was hustling on my block, not because he was hustling, because I felt like whatever he was doing, he figured out a way to exit in some kind of way, to move forward. Even if it was a negative connotation to it because of how he was doing it, I looked at it a little differently. Like, man, he's an inspiration because he took something out of nothing. Then I looked at that teacher in the 8th grade who pointed his finger in my face extra hard because he wanted me to succeed. He didn't want me to become a statistic. Then I took hold. Before then, my stepdad coming in to take care of another man's child. Then it was, the guy at the corner store who owned the bodega, who I had was a Spanish guy, but he didn't live in our neighborhood. But he had the business in our neighborhood. Then at the other end, you had Mr. and Mrs. Thomas on 19th Street who owned the store, a family, a wife and a husband who owned the store. So I was the type of dude, I would go corner to corner, store to store, and I would have conversations with them. Why is this Latino guy in our neighborhood doesn't live here, and how did he get to own this store? Why is this black family together still a family, not separated, and they own this. How do they do that? So I was always looking for the information because early on, I learned that information changes situations, and I desperately wanted my situation to change, but not just mine, my entire household. You know, so I was always seeking that approval, and by not approval, but that mentorship. And by seeking that mentorship, you know, they say when you seek, you shall find, right? So I found things along the way. I just looked at it like a vehicle, right? Like a vehicle has two headlights in front of it, you know, and it's made in America anyway. It's
hopefully.
It's made to, yeah,
I
hopefully.
saw what you was driving though, but that's the story.
Well, yeah, mine's got a couple of headlights on it, but, you know, it sees 200 feet in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you're not moving. But when you start moving, you see another 200 feet. You start moving, you see another 200 feet. So my point is, as I started meeting people and learning different things, I would see the on-ramps of things and destinations that I didn't even know exist. I didn't even know I would be interested in. And then I started meeting Ralph Grant, and by this time, we had our record deal. So now I have millions of fans following us, and my management and Ice-T, shout out to Ice-T, would say to me, you have to give them a direction now. Leaders give directions to the followers. Let them know give them a destination, give them something to buy, tell them somewhere to go, tell them something to do, you know. And our management said, you know, you can't forget where you came from. You always giving Newark, you know, you wear Newark on your hats, just like I see you wearing. I love that. You wear it on your shirts. You talk about it on interviews, on radio stations and television stations, you know. So you give it a lot of power. You give it, you talk about the seed that grew in Newark, that became you. That's where you came from. But how are you going to replant that seed in Newark so we can grow people or things that are better than you? And that's what I started to do. I started to realize through politics, by helping them pass out flyers, through cracking the mic for Raz Baraka when he was just an advocate. You know what I mean? If you look back at those pictures in the 90s when we were the famous group out of Newark, I'm the one opening the mic up for the big homie. You know what I mean? So
the big homie.
Yeah, I mean he's the mayor, so
Yeah.
you know, so I call him the big homie just because he's the mayor, but not, you know. So I would be the one opening the mic. So what I realized is that, wow, because I can galvanize people together, even if it's just to bring them together and have somebody else deliver the message at the table, that's power. And then I started to, with my nonprofit, as I came back here and opened my media company, I opened up a portion which is the nonprofit side called 211 Community Impact. And from 211 Community Impact, I started to be hands-on with the residents a little more, being in those neighborhoods and not seeing it from afar. So I started to know who had the rodent problem because I was there. I started to know who had the loitering problem on the block because I was there, not just hearing about it secondhand. And by me being there, it gave me a voice. You know, it gave me a voice to be able to translate and have a communication, but not just communication, comprehension with the residents, and a communication and comprehension with the people who they were complaining with, the people in the streets. So if you can have the voice on both sides, the people were saying, well, we want you to talk to them for us. And they were saying, well, we want you to talk to them for us. So I became like that voice. And then the people started to say, they motivated me to be their voice and to run for office, because I'm not a politician, man. I'm just a person that loves Newark, New Jersey, and to do anything that I can to help and add to the whole. You know, I don't claim to know it all. I don't claim to have all the answers. I'm not Kanye, Sway. You know what I mean? But I don't.
I hope not.
Yeah, right. I don't claim to, but what I do know is that I've traveled the world, and it has. I went to college. I pledged Alpha Phi Alpha. All of that academic stuff, great. But the things that I've learned from traveling and my experiences and traveling the world and meeting different cultures and meeting different people of different sects of religion and seeing their community problems in their countries and in their cities, and it's just amazing. And I wanted to bring that information back to Newark, New Jersey, to just kind of help out, you know, and to assist. Amiri Baraka told me one time, he said, "Pitch your bucket where you lay." Man, I'm like, oh, gee, what are you talking about? Pick my bucket where I lay. And, you know, he just said, just take it like if you were a brain surgeon and you went away to acquire the knowledge, which is amazing. But bring that knowledge back to where you are from, because that's a superpower. So if you take that superpower and you go to LA and you go to Cedars-Sinai Hospital, then you've just changed the economic development of that hospital, because whoever needs your expertise has to come to you. If they're out of town, then they've just changed the development, the economics with hotels and restaurants and that hospital and those doctors. But if you take that to University Hospital, Beth Israel Hospital, then you've just done the same thing here in Newark, New Jersey. And that's kind of my mentality, is if I want to directly, effectively foster change in my city, then I have to be here.
Well said. Now let me tell you a little something. He just gave you insight onto the long game. If you're doing something, you have to have either exit strategy or a way to go. You just can't wander aimlessly. Normally, this would be a pitch for me to pitch Community Policing Solutions, which is my company. But instead of doing that, I'm going to add a little something to it. He was talking about the cars. There's a reason why the rear view mirror is this small on the front of the car and the windshield is 3 feet wide. You're supposed to be looking forward. You're supposed to be moving forward. That's something that people have to understand. You can't worry about what's behind you anymore. You got to move forward.
Most definitely.
Positivity.
Right.
Now, when he's talking about opening the crack in the mic, I want to say it probably goes back to 1994.
Yes.
Because,
Facts.
yes. Let me
Yes.
tell you why.
Facts, bro.
Yeah, let me
Facts.
tell you why. 95,
Let me find where your research
listen,
department
listen,
at.
listen,
man.
you can't know
Let me
everything.
get address. Who that over there behind the
Hey,
computer
listen, I
over
would
there,
tell you, I
man?
spent some time at CIA headquarters in Langley, but that would be a lot.
Yeah, man.
So
Show
in
them
'94,
what y'all doing over here.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, uh-huh.
See what y'all doing over here. See them back there? That's the little research department
Yo,
back there.
yo.
over there, something, man.
Yo, it's a lot you can find out. I was taught by a pretty good teacher. So in '94, there was an election, and I believe Mayor of Baraka ran a couple of times.
Mhm.
In '95, I came on the job. '98 or '99, I got my first job working on the detail with Mayor Sharp James. I lasted all of 5.5 months. I wasn't ready for it. In 2002, when the big epic battle came on, when he beat Mr. Booker, the eventual mayor, I ended up being on the protection detail. So I know what the chronological was, because you watch everybody out there.
Right.
You watch
Right.
Donna Jackson, who was still out there.
Shout out to Donna, man. Shout out to Donna Jackson,
listen,
man.
uh,
Donna gonna let her voice be heard.
Regardless of how she
Regardless.
felt. And she had family all throughout the city, including the brother that was on the force. And he was like, listen, what my sister said, she said. And she always looked at, I'm actually looking to get Donna, but we don't have a button on here to be censoring everything. So, you know.
Donna gonna give it to you how she gonna give it.
Yeah.
You know.
I love Donna. And
Yeah.
shout out to Ms. Jackson.
Yeah.
Whether you listen to her or not, I seen her, last time I actually seen her, she was on Facebook. There was kids in front of the theater, running in and out the theater.
Right.
And she was talking about, if you don't come get your kids, I got a belt. I give them that punishment quick. Like, yo, okay. So there are many people out there. But with Mr. Dupr'e, actually is telling you is real facts, because people don't realize, as you crack the mic, as he so aptly put it, as you step to the mic, as you open for a crowd, he grew to the fact of, in the height of his, I won't even say the height of his fame, on his ascending of fame,
Right.
he actually was still going up, but he saw a time to help a friend step into a crowd. And that early instance helped frame you, because now you know what to look at. And because you were community oriented, you would go into the meetings, you was talking to the people,
That's right.
you was finding the problems.
Right.
Once in a while you look, and you, at the time, you really didn't know I was a community officer in the South Ward, but I actually did the same thing on the police department side. You had a knowledge of what needed to be changed,
That's facts.
and you didn't want to, when you deal with City Hall, and this is any City Hall, it could be Nevada, Atlanta, Chicago, Detroit, there's some red tape that always gets involved. And you don't know about it until you actually try to affect change.
Right.
I saw you go
Yeah,
to...
you talking. You
Listen,
talking that talk right now.
Listen. If I could be vetted, I would run for president.
Right.
But after the last Joker, I think I could get that. But anyway, that's another story. I actually saw you. I want to say you had on a brown print striped suit, looking dapper, going the week way. On the gym side, there was a giveaway, and whatever happened. But you were there to help the community.
Right.
You then, yeah.
Russ,
Yo, see?
Russ is on it.
Yo, listen, CIA headquarters. I'm telling you, I'm
Wow,
gonna be
he
a people.
on it.
I was there, and listen, I've been fortunate. Everybody that's been on here, they could have come with entourage, and Dupr'e could have come with an entourage, but he's comfortable here on Prince Street, 135.
Word up.
Prince Street, Hub Life.
Facts.
And he came with, like I said, he's tired and he shoveled, and he probably got to shovel some more. He got all the properties, but you know, them tax sales work out, and he must have a connect. But we're gonna leave that alone. So, what's interesting is you when you're into politics, you learn to craft your message. You've already crafted your message.
Yeah,
you don't have no
years.
script. You don't have no teleprompter. You have to be extremely intelligent to be able to come up with a rhythm and a rhyme to fit it in time and do what you do line by line. And even if you were to mess up, and I know you haven't, you know how to cover it. And politics is about covering yourself. Believe it or not, it's covering the community. You can't promise them the world and not deliver.
That's fact.
Because they're gonna turn around and say, "But you said X, Y, and Z.
Most
We
definitely.
followed you."
Most definitely.
So you already did your ascent, and just because 2018 didn't work out for you doesn't mean 2022 won't work out for you, or 2026, or 2030, and by then, you know, you can just mail me my 1099
Yeah,
to wherever I'm at, the cold weather, because I ain't shoveling no more.
No, it's over.
It's over. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. I'll sell you something, you know, a couple properties or whatever. But to have the foresight to move, because the mayor, it's through trial and error. Everybody can't be Sharp.
No.
Everybody can't be Ralph Grant,
That's
Donald
fact.
Tucker.
That's fact.
You
named
Mildred Crum.
You named some great names.
Yo, listen, I was fortunate.
Yeah.
I seen some stuff that I couldn't tell you because you wouldn't believe unless you were there.
I know, and I don't want you to have to kill me.
No. I ain't about that. It's about positivity right now. But you see how we move.
Right.
I think that not only are you an inspiration,
Appreciate that.
I've seen you reach out to a couple people. I named my one cousin just because we were at the men's meeting February last year. And you shook my hand, you showed love, you gave Hashim some dat, and you was like, I'm doing 30,000 other things. And you were holding the line then. You're holding the line now.
Facts.
I hope that in the not too distant future, whatever you aspire to be, you get that because you deserve that.
I appreciate
And
that.
you bringing the love back. The community is giving it to you, you're going to give it back.
Most definitely.
So I think you deserve whatever seat you hold at 920 Broad Street, third floor first.
Hey, man.
Third floor first, and I ain't stepping on nobody's toes. You go to that, where they have the police guard as you walk into the office, you make that hard right. You got 9 desks, 9 offices.
Yeah.
You do what you got to do. Because there's going to be some changes.
Yeah.
Just, it's the natural order
I
thing.
think it should be too, man. And you know, like, I appreciate all of the words you said, man. And I don't think like it's not like practice or none of that. Like I don't want people to feel like it's like practice or you gotta. You're right though. Like a lot of people do that. They practice their thing. That I think when you actually live it, there's nothing to practice. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Like you're actually like I'm living it, man. Like I'm it's not easy. In no way, shape, form, or fashion is it easy. But I'm living it and I'm present. You know what I mean? Like so I'm honest. I look to people and man, I never worked in City Hall ever. And I probably get more phone calls. I have a red phone that or a new phone. I think I left it in the house. I turn it off at a certain time. It's just I just give the number out to anybody that asks me for a problem. I really can show you like all of the requests I've got just this week. We on Wednesday. Just this week. Jobs, everything. I'm not an elected official, and I still try to help them. I still try to help the people. I still try to do what I say that I was going to do when I ran. Because my thing is, when I ran for office, because I felt like the city needed a voice that can get at the table, who would I be if I just left after the election was over? Who would I be if I still didn't try to do those things that I said that I would do if I was elected? I'm not going to do them now because I didn't get elected. Then I mean I was fronting all along. You know what I mean? Like, that mean that my intent was something else.
Right.
You know what I mean? So my intent really is what I say. I don't, and I pray that I stay like this because I don't know how to be a politician. That's why some of my political friends look at me with a side eye sometimes.
That's the blessing right there, bro. That's the blessing.
And it's crazy to me because since I don't know how to be a politician, my political friends look at me like, dude, come on. And then my street dudes, when I do make a move that looks political, they looking at me like, come on. I don't know how to be a politician. I just know how to be straight up and at least try and attempt to do the things that I intend to do. Do I succeed all the time? Heck no. I fail a lot of times. But even when I fell and didn't get the seat, that wasn't a loss to me. It built a lot of relationships. It built a lot of rapport. It made people understand who I was and what my intentions were and are. I didn't lose the election and you hadn't seen me anymore. And no disrespect to my city, because nobody can challenge me on how I love my city. But I don't have to be here, Russ. Real talk. And I'm not even saying that like, I don't have to. Real spit. I can be in Florida and I hate the snow. I can be in Florida somewhere or chilling with my DJ who got a big old mansion down there, and I can be just chilling somewhere. But I love my city, and I feel like that we need somebody to fight for us together with us here. You know, and if I can assist, I might not be the strongest warrior or the best warrior, but I guarantee you that I can get 10 people that's stronger than me that can stand with me side by side. And that's my mentality after my birthday in January. My new mentality and my mentality for the city now is, it's like the Rock of Gibraltar, bro. When the Moors fought the Spaniards, they pulled all of those ships up to the shoreline and they lined them up. And then they set their ships on fire.
To let them know it's a line of demarcation.
I'm not turning around.
That's right.
If I burn if I burned my way here, if I burn my transportation of how I got here, I'm not going nowhere. I'm not turning around. The only way that I'm turning around is I gotta fight to come take it. That's the only way back to my family. And if somebody pulls up to my house and they blow up their car and they talking about fighting me, I know I'm in for a battle. I'm like, whoa, this dude done just burnt the way he got here. I'm telling you, man, I'm pulling all the ships up to the shoreline and I'm burning them.
Wow. Okay. Yo, listen, before I forget here, 135 Prince Street, that Hub Light Radio, there's gonna be a sign here. Mr. Hub has actually promised we're gonna get you come and sign it. Dupr'e, Kelly, those that are on the go. We can get
my
everybody
handprint
here.
is over there in the corner.
I know your handprint is over, but that's not my show.
Okay,
this is Legends. We're gonna put it right there so
let's
everybody can see.
get it for Legends.
Now, it's interesting you talk about Moors. I had this conversation. Adrian doesn't believe me. I am a direct descendant of Hannibal. That's why I got some Sicilian blood up in me. Because we did some damage, but, we ain't going to talk about that.
All right.
Mr. Night himself.
Shout out to all the Moors out there, man.
Yeah, easy. When I'm not talking about the Moors easy. I'm talking about what Mr. Hannibal allegedly did when he crossed over into Sicily.
Yes.
And that's still a little dark and complected like ourselves.
That's right.
People don't seem to understand that. Wow. All I got to say is, and now he got that slushy. Like, now I should have worn another slushy. Or I'd put something else in there. But don't worry about it.
Yeah, the slushy tastes like thank you right now.
Yo, that's what I'm talking about. Let me ask you something. Because listen, you're gonna do what you're gonna do anyway. You have the talent. A lot of people. I remember Mayor James telling the story about how he really got into politics, and it was a turbulent time. This is a different type of turbulent time, and sometimes you need the strongest warriors to fight the strongest battles.
That's right.
And we got some crazy stuff going on nowadays. But that's enough about that, because anytime you want to come here, you have open mic. Open
I appreciate
forum,
that too, man.
And I could be your manager and write you a little bit of the show so I can get that 1099.
But thank you too for doing this type of show.
Yeah,
Legends, man. Like, it's about legacy, man. You gotta build something up in your life that people want to talk about.
Absolutely. Let people smell their flowers when they're while they're seen and not viewed.
Right.
You gotta smell everything. You gotta see everything. But listen, I saw a video about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, where somebody was learning how to drive.
Oh my goodness.
You want to talk about that?
Ooh. Which one did you see?
I saw the one
maybe
where,
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago,
okay.
and you was telling them you was explaining what happened, but the look on your face, that wasn't acting, dude. That was real life. That was you want to talk about that?
Hey man, shout out to my nephew, man, Elijah, man. Elijah, that's probably maybe about 6th or 7th actually lesson. And he's been doing amazing. But this day he was off.
Okay.
He was off. And that's the first time I went live on Facebook. And he's off on the day I go live for the first time on Facebook. And you know, I just try to, man, one thing I learned from this election, and I have to give the credit to election, but it's probably been in the making for the last 5 or 6 years, is patience.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't very patient, you know, and I would assume somebody has the understanding as I have the understanding. So I address them that way, like if we should ping pong off each other because you understand what I understand. No, it's not like that. And it made me realize that you truly have to meet people where they are. And and you can only do that. You have to have patience in order to do that in dealing with residents in a community. Because there's so many mental health disorders that you might not even know. They might not even know that they have it, and they're functioning in their everyday life like everything is right. So you're not going to be able to deal with people in cities like Newark, New Jersey if you don't meet them with where they are and if you don't have patience. So I grew a lot of patience, and especially during the campaign, it made me grow a lot of patience because especially when you see people who you know tearing down your posters and signs, and you don't really remember, I'm not a politician, right. So I don't understand these tactics. What are they doing? What? Oh, you know, and I had to take a back seat because once listening to Floyd Mayweather in an interview, it might have been on one of his HBO specials before a fight. This thing just stuck out with me with the interview, and they said, Floyd, how did you win all of these fights and you've never lost one? And I'm thinking he's going to give, you know, I got the best jab in the business. You know, my hook is impeccable. And he just looked dead into the camera and he said, patience. And just that one word and how he said it at that time just rung so deep within me like, wow, you have to counter. You have to be patient. You have to be observant. You can't just strike. You can't just react. You have to respond. And that's what I started to do. And even my family has noticed it. So speaking of that driving lesson, my nephew, he was just challenging my patience, you know, and challenging my patience because I was just trying to let him know you only have one time to make a mistake in this type of space. You know, they say that you learn from your mistakes, but sometimes that's if you come back from a mistake, you know, because mistakes in certain things, mistakes in an airplane is fatal. Mistakes in an automobile is fatal, can be fatal. Mistakes in certain situations as a police officer, as you know, can be fatal.
Or fatal to others.
Or fatal to others. Facts. You know what I mean? So, yes, you can learn from your mistakes, but that's if you make it out of the mistake. So, you know, I'm very observant, and I don't just, you know, the old me, the younger me, the youthful me. Oh, what do you say? Oh, what? You know, you just quick. No, now somebody can jump, and I'm looking how to. Oh, okay, when soon as he, you know, oh, okay, oh, that's what he do. He leave that open. Okay, oh, word that. Because now I'm gaining the intel and the information of how to respond to you, not to react to you, you know. And that's what I'm trying to teach him as a driver. You have to know how to respond to the situations that's going on, and don't just react, because you can put yourself and other people in danger.
So let me tell you what resonated, because you talk about being a tactician, and you got to be a tactician, politics or driving.
Yep.
I believe there was a moment when he used both feet to drive.
I was like, you've been doing this all along? All of the lessons that you've been doing this?
Yeah. Why it resonated with me, because I had the same conversation with my youngest. The 2 feet thing, like, I'm like, what? Are you trying to learn how to drive a stick?
Yeah.
Or is that because you only got 2 pedals? So that resonated with me. So let me give a little more on my side. So I'm taking her out because I learned that I have to go and take her to the parking lot early in the morning, so there's no mistakes.
That's right.
This day, I'm driving on the street, and I won't name the street. It's got the 2 lanes. It's got the double yellow lane, and the windshield is fogging up. So I'm like, why don't you hit the defogger? And she goes, "What's that?" Now it's listen. The defogger, it's the windshield is fogged up. We can't see. When we hit the defogger, we look up. We're on the wrong side of the double yellow line.
Lord,
And
all the way to
the
the
Lord
Murphy.
was with us because I guess he wanted her to drive.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, dude, really? And you have to have patience because you can't yell at them because they're already kind of nervous.
Yep.
And the quicker the more patience you show, if you show them patience, then they'll develop the patience.
That's
but
right.
If you react, then they're going to start reacting. It's not going to help.
Mm-hmm.
And when I learned how to drive way back when, my mother said, "Listen, I'm gonna teach you, but if you help, if I spill a drop of my coffee, we going back home." So for the first month and a half, I was, oh man, two hands.
Oh yeah.
Man, I was.
Oh, that's a good tactic.
Yo,
Your mother's a
listen.
genius.
Yes, you got.
Man, the black woman is
the
black
come up with
woman is
something.
God, man.
Because we have to make do because the goalposts always change on us.
Mm-hmm.
In politics,
Right.
you might have to do certain things, and you notice the goalposts will change on you. So if you don't have that knowledge you talked about, and be the tactician to plan, or be the Mayweather to counter, you're gonna be lost.
You're gonna be lost, bro. Definitely. That's a great way to put it too.
We have to learn.
Yeah.
And I just when I was actually watching it, and the look on your face, it wasn't acting, because when you're acting you can pull it together and you can be in the moment. You had this look on your face like, oh my goodness.
I knew he was off. I had been with him 6-7 times before, so I just knew he was off. The 2 feet thing, and then you don't know how to move the car. You don't know how to put the car in drive after 7 times of. Come on, Laj. You know?
And you never said his name, but you just had the look on you like, oh my goodness. Listen, I've been there.
Yeah. I had to have a long talk with him afterwards. And then after I had to talk with him, man, and that's another thing too with children, is like in the youth. You can't really just scream on them because they're going to shut down. They're not going to give you the information that you're looking for. They're just going to give you what they think that you need to be quiet, to lay off them. You know what I mean? At that time. So, I had to talk with him afterwards, and then come to find out he did have a situation, and that's why he was off. So it's, I don't know, man. It's just, you got it. I believe you can't really tell a child or a youthful person what to do. You just kind of have to guide them and direct them and let them learn and become who they are supposed to become.
And be safe about it.
Yes.
Listen.
Yes.
Let me ask you this real quick before I forget. Where's your best venue to perform at that you enjoyed immensely?
That's a hard question, man.
Really?
Yeah, man, shout out to DJ Lord Jazz and Mr. Funky, man. We have had the opportunity to perform in some of the best venues in the world, and I love this outside venue in Greece. It's amazing. I love the Paladisio in Paris, France, that's no longer there. I love Elysée Montmartre in France. It was like if you perform there, it's like performing at the Apollo. I love the Apollo.
Okay.
I love Club Sensations.
and you wasn't robbed outside of Sensations, but that's another story.
Yeah, right. What was the big June though? Took my ring from somebody though.
Oh my goodness.
June security. R.I.P. to June, man. And it's a lot of great places, man. But most of all, I love performing in front of the people who need the energy and want to give me the energy back. You know what I'm saying? And that's the most important thing, man. Is being able to give that energy, that positive energy to somebody that needs it at that moment. The biggest crowd I ever performed in front of, I think it was in, I want to say Berlin. It was an outside festival, and it was about 86 to 90,000 people there. So that's the largest crowd I ever performed in front of, and it was amazing. Somebody
told me a long time ago that, I'm not getting in your pockets again, that the best money is when you go overseas. I don't know if it was Rakim or somebody that just came back and we was laughing. He was like, it's whatever it is, it's incredible. So I figured I would ask you, what was your and you gave me a terrific answer.
Overseas, man.
It's a different life. I mean, weren't you in Denmark or something, or Sweden, not too long ago?
And you know what's crazy? Denmark was the place. It wasn't Berlin. It was Denmark.
Okay.
It was Denmark.
Okay.
Almost 90,000 people, and it's called the Bombay Festival or something like that. But yeah, you know, we've had Lords of the Underground's had an apartment in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
We probably just lost it in COVID. But man, we lived in Paris, France.
Okay.
Funk he just moved back. He lived there for about 4 years. Lord Jazz lived there for 13 years. I lived there for 1 year.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize. Oh, that man, that's a blessing.
Yeah, man. That's like our second, third home right there, man.
Wow, like a back cave.
Yeah, definitely. It's amazing, man. I'm from a number block right here in the great city of Newark, New Jersey, Westward kid, man. And to be able to spin the globe, close my eyes and put my finger on it, and literally catch a flight there, and can pick up the phone and call somebody in that city, in that country, and tell them I'm here, come get me. That's an amazing feeling, man. Amazing feeling, man.
And no disrespect to the other two lords, I don't have your information, but I would love to have all three of you back.
Most definitely.
Just so y'all can come back here and
yeah, as soon as they touch down and we're all here, man, we'll make that happen.
We'll figure it out.
We gotta come through the hub, man.
Yeah, you gotta show Mr. Best. You see, every time I say his name, I'm supposed to hear a dollar sign.
Ding.
Exactly, a cash app or something.
Right. Listen,
we done went through, and we only touched on a little bit of the musical career, the acting, and he got some other stuff. He probably got some stuff that remains unseen, and hopefully nobody will see it. Shh. Oh, real quick. I actually met Miss Noble because I worked in City Hall.
Ah, man, that's
and I found out. She told me, like, well, you know who my son is, and it didn't dawn on me until later, and then she let it out. So shout out to Miss Noble. Yeah. My condolences on what they got going on over there as well.
Yeah, man, that's family right there, man.
Like I said, I want to thank you for the mix of. See, I don't get paid enough to have somebody handle my scheduling and my booking. The villain, but you came through. Like I said, he was shoveling Elizabeth Avenue, Meeker Avenue. I saw him on Red Avenue and parts of Chancellor Avenue.
Hey, man, we out there.
It's like he worked for the county. He's shoveling all that stuff.
Right. Shout out to Akbar, man, because he was out there with me with the snowblower, man. So shout out to Ak.
Oh my goodness. And I really needed to hook you up with Black Power, DeJuan Turner.
Okay. I know that name.
Yeah, he was on here a couple times. DeJuan was actually trying to do some snow removal stuff.
Okay,
as well.
Yeah, that's dope.
So, and he does landscaping.
To everybody out there too, man, they got. I don't know if y'all hip to the Minutemen. The city is looking for Minutemen, they call them, and that's people with shovels that can go block to block, earn a couple of dollars, an hour, and get in a couple of blocks, get a few hours in, man, and help the city get some of this snow removed, man. Everybody always asking about how can I help, how can I get down, I just believe and I don't want this to sound political, but I did have it in politics. I was saying this before just to be transparent, but I really believe it. When you love your city, you can change it, right? Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is that when you love something, you treat it differently, right? When I was running, there was this guy by one of my buildings who threw a piece of paper, a potato chip bag on the floor. And the girl I was with at the time was like, "Oh, don't say nothing to him." I'm like, "Nah, what are you going to be mad at me because I asked him?" So I asked him, and he was like, "What? But my approach, he changed his tone because of my approach. But if I'd have been like, "Yo, man," it would have been nothing but combative. Mm-hmm. So I just asked him, I said, "Yo," he had a Newark hat on. So
it wasn't me.
I peeped the situation, and I said, "Hey, yo, homie." He was like, "What up?" Looking, like, "Do you know me?" And I was like, "Yo, you from Newark?" He looked kind of confused, and he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "You love the bricks, huh?" He looked again. He's like, "Yeah, yeah, I love the bricks." I'm like, "That's dope, man. Me too." I was like, "Yo, if you love the bricks, man, why you throw a potato chip bag down? Pick that up." He's like, "What?" I was like, "Bro, I'm just going off of your words. You just told me you love the bricks, but you just threw litter down on the street, a bag. I'm just asking you to pick it up. It's a garbage can right there. You just said you love the bricks." He looked at me like, bent down and picked it up with an attitude, like, and put it in the garbage. But that's if I would have went to him combative, he would have never picked it up. He would have started an argument. It probably would have escalated to whatever. But it's just the approach. And I challenge everybody that. If you claim the bricks, I don't care if you're the hottest rapper in the underground in Newark or whatever. If you claim to love your city, do your part. Do what you can. And that's all your part means, doing whatever you can do. If you got a shovel and you complaining about the snow, if you have teenagers, they should have been shoveled the whole block already, and you can get paid from it.
Absolutely.
Go down to City Hall, look online on the Facebook Newark. I think it's called Newark City, Newark, New Jersey City or something. City of Newark, New Jersey.
Is it 3411 or 4311?
You can call 311, right? 411 or 311. 311. Excuse me. Call 311 and just ask, how can I help with the snow removal? There's a Minuteman process where you can get 4 hours in and get $15 an hour or whatever it is, man, and help the city. You know, and that's with everything. That's not just with snow. Play your part. Do your part if you really want to help. Because other than if you're not thinking of ways to help, then you just lip professing. You just want to claim somewhere because of the negative connotations that it has. And we had enough of that. We want people to come spend money in our city. You know, the last time I seen 50 Cent here, it was at, this is when Taste Venue was still open, and it was in a comedy spot. And I'm like, Fifth, what up? He like, dude, y'all crazy in the North. I'm like, yeah.
It's a little different.
You know, and he's like, I'm like, yo, you got to come back, though, man. Open up a business here or something, man. He was like, man, I don't know, man. You know, if money here, yeah, but I don't know. And that just hit me the wrong way like that. If it was popping like that, he would. He wouldn't have that type of hesitation. So we have to create, you know, make our corridors dope. You know what I mean? Make it inviting. You know, if you came to my house and my house just had a bunch of crackheads on it, and as soon as you walk in the hallway, you see roaches or rodents, you'd be like, you know, I'm gonna squat in the car for you. Come back. And not even disrespectful. Like, I'm gonna squat in the car for you, hit me, because it's not inviting.
Yeah.
You're not taking off your shoes when you come in there. You keeping your coat. You shaking it probably when you come out, because it's not inviting. We want people to be invited, feel inviting, our city to feel inviting to them. We want you to come here to spend money. We want you to want to come here and live. We want you to want to come here and get money.
And be a part of.
Be a part of it. You know, a lot of us, we are so used to being part of the city when it's just horrible, right? That we should want to be part of the revolution. We should want to be part of the revitalization of our city when it gets better. Don't complain that brick and mortar is going up. Don't complain that this part is being fixed up and hooked up, but it caused traffic. Don't complain. Ask how you can be involved so when it's done, you can still be a part of the fabric. Because if you're not a part of the fabric, then you're going to be moved out. And you don't want to be moved out if you were here when it doing its demise.
It's true.
If I was part of something, if I helped you when you were nothing, I want to be rocking with you when you something. I don't want you to be all down in the dirt with you, and then when you blow up, I'm not a part of it. No, I want to be a part of all of that, so we can have a special bond and a special relationship, man. And I think people need to build that bond back up with their city, man. Like build it up with Newark, man.
Well said. And before I forget, shout out to Yates Avenue.
Shout out to Yates.
What was it? South 13th Street, Girard Place, Lower Shepherd. These are all people that I actually put together when I taught block watch training.
Oh,
I put
nice.
them together, and they led the way. And I know I'm forgetting about 20 other places.
Right.
New Hope Village, a couple of the senior buildings. I've taught all over down out of Kretschmer, Seth Boyden. So there are people that actually wanted to be bonded together. And just because you're in we'll say an adult situation, and even Stratford, there are people in Stratford that were trying to do the right thing.
I believe that.
But that's the deadliest 500 feet in the
Ooh,
city of
500 feet of.
Ooh.
That's like 20 steps.
Dude, let me tell you.
Sheesh.
Listen. But anyway, we're here at 135 French Street. Mr. Dupr'e.
That's right.
All the way.
Word up.
Shoveling all of the county
You
corridors.
see me the car hard? I got him car hard up.
He car hard up, but it's understandable because he's a busy man, talking business.
No doubt, man.
Showing pleasure, showing love to the city. Before we go, is there anybody that you want to give a special shout out to?
Yeah, man.
Show them some love.
I wanna give a shout out to my team, man, because I can't do nothing without my team. Everybody over there at 211 Community Impact. from Redman, you know, who's a big superstar celebrity, does not have to do the things that he does. I think his name goes unmentioned a lot when he does a lot of the things, from financial support to actually being on the block doing hand to hand and not illegally. I'm talking about passing out book bags and books, and you know, from Ramin Moore, my man Pop, from the ladies. I don't think that any man can do anything effectively without a female energy involved, you know, in some capacity. So shout out to Miss Jackie, shout out to Ray, shout out to my mom, shout out to my sister, all of the women who come in and actually put in that work. Miranda, shout out to Fluffman Jones, everybody that helps us, man. Is you know, shout out to Benedict Guerriere from La Rouge Lounge. We do a lot of properties and stuff, man. Shout out to all of those people that really care about the city and they don't really get any recognition. All of our great teachers, you know, you can put on bottom parts, teachers, even though you're teaching virtual reality.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to wear just your pajamas, but you know, shout out to everybody that's shout out to Alterique Best. You know, shout out to Miss Gregory from the NAACP, and shout out to the Ivy Hill Association up in Westward and Fairmount District, and all of those people over there in the West that's really, you know, USVO and Leadership Newark, and all of those people who really want to see our city go forward, man. Shout out to Mayor Raz J. Baraka, you know, because I can only imagine what it is to be mayor in this city, man. You know, all of the things that come across your desk that you have to deal with. And anybody who's pushing positivity, pushing things forward, man, I'm with you. If I can be part of the whole, you know, include me in, man. And shout out to the Russell Thomas Legend Show, man, because this is an important thing to have some Newark legends on and just hear their story and let them tell their narrative, you know?
Oh, that's a blessing. Thank you for those kind words.
Love that.
I think, you know, we've taken enough of Mr. Dupr'e's time.
Oh, man.
He's got to go out and finish shoveling Bloomfield Avenue. There was a time when
right.
he couldn't even go over there.
Yeah.
But now, you know, if you haven't passed by Calandras, I'd like to get a...
Yeah. Shout out to my people in Calandras.
See, look at that.
Yeah,
look at that.
Shout out to Monaco Cruz, man. That's my brother, my right hand, man. You know, when we speak about Calandras, that's our spot. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember they used to give us hot bread at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
That was the reason to have the patrol car come through there. That's all love. You know,
yeah.
We paid them. We paid them for it. It was nothing slick.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
It's been a pleasure. It's been an honor. You have open invitation. When you decide, whatever you decide, you know, you come back on here. I don't know if I'll be on this platform, but it'll be some type of platform. What we're going to do is, real quick, just so you know, it's going to be uploaded to that Hub Life Radio. Nice. It's going to go on YouTube probably tonight, tomorrow. Okay. And then once you get on it, once you see it, we're actually friends. You can take it and share it to be on your page on YouTube. Yeah.
Everybody too, man. Go on YouTube. I got an album coming out, man, called Brenda's Son. You know, it's probably one of my most personal albums yet. Just talking, it's a reflection of who I was then to who I am now. Being a young black male growing up in Newark, New Jersey, being raised by a single black woman, you know. So it's called Brenda's Son. My mom's name is Brenda, of course. And I have 2 videos out. One I did with the mayor.
Okay.
You know.
Which mayor you talking about? Sharp?
No.
Corby?
No.
Who you
talking about? That poet we got.
Oh, you talking about that poet?
Mayor Raz J. Baraka.
Okay.
You know, it's called Keep the Faith. You can check that out. And I also have a new joint on there called The Life. You can go on YouTube, hit that up. Subscribe too, man. Like it, comment. You know, that's how we monetize, and it's a different game now. Before, you know, you could just sell a record and you know, and you're good. But now you got to monetize and stream and all of that type of stuff. So, you know, go to Spotify, go to Apple, go to YouTube, click like, subscribe, and comment for your boy, man. Definitely.
A true salesman.
Yeah, man.
Not a politician, real from the heart. Mr. Dupr'e, Do It All Kelly.
Appreciate you, King.
A founder. We're just gonna say founder of
doubt.
211 Community Impact. Legends with Russell Thomas, and we out.
Yeah.